So the last time I shot my Tikka, it was at a competition shoot at this range at 440 yards. I'm new to long distance shooting. I don't do it competitively or anything, it's just for fun. I usually like to do the 440 yard shoot at this club. I made the fatal mistake last time of cleaning my rifle before the shoot. I thought it was beneficial to do that, coming in with a clean barrel. It definitely wasn't. I'll show you guys a target from that shoot from last time. It was atrocious. I've put 2 bullets through the same hole with this gun at 440 yards. It's not me that's a good shooter, it's this gun. It's extremely accurate. It's a Tikka T3X TAC A1, if you didn't see from the title or if I didn't put it in. So the purpose of this video is I'm going to put more rounds through this gun first at 100 yards and then try it again at 440. And I just want to see how well the accuracy comes back. During that last shoot, the first round of 10 shots for the first round, it was all over the target, way up top, really spread out. It was 3 rounds, 10 rounds each, and 5 practice rounds at the beginning. So I had a total of 35 rounds through the gun by the end of the match. And each round, the group kept getting a little bit tighter. It was still nothing close to what the gun was before. So the purpose of this is to put rounds through the gun at 100 yards, see how the groups are doing, and from there I'm going to try to 440 with a few rounds that I have that are really good quality and see how it does there. So hopefully the gun comes back to where it was prior to cleaning it, and then I'll be good for the next shoot with the gun. This is actually about a week later. When I came up here last time, the very beginning of the video, I was just putting rounds through the gun to get the barrel back to where it was before I cleaned it. And there was another member here at the club, and he said there was a 400-yard competition shoot the next day. So I kind of scrambled to find one more box of Winchester match, because I only had one box with me. And it was full, but the reason why I didn't do more at the beginning of the video after I did the initial shots was because I needed to save the ammo that I had for the shoot the next day, and I had to find one more box. Luckily, I found a local sporting goods store that had one box available, so I was able to pick it up. What I really prefer to shoot out of this is Hornady match. The Winchester is a good substitute. I'm not saying one round is better than the other, it's just what this gun likes. So I'm going to put just some initial rounds through the gun just to get the barrel warmed up, and then I'm going to start shooting the Hornady. I have 140 grain. I want to try some 147 grain just to see how it likes the gun, and also have some Burger 140. So I'm going to be trying these 3 different loads today, and I also have 3 rounds of some hand-loaded rounds that are Hornady bullets and the Hornady brass. So we're going to see how all these do today at 440. Hopefully the gun is back to where it was. As far as how I did during the competition shoot, not good. The first target was okay, but then I over adjusted my scope and then I blew the rest of the match because of it. So I'm still learning all this stuff. I'm not an expert by any means, but we all start somewhere, and I'm just going to see what kind of grouping that I get, and if I can get some grouping that I used to get with the Hornady 140 grain, what I was initially getting out of the gun before I ever cleaned it. I believe there's enough rounds through it now, so it should be good. So we're going to put some rounds down range after it's warmed up, and then I'll go down with the camera and see how it's grouping with each different ammunition type that I have today. That's the first 3, so we'll go down and see how it looks. So these 2 aren't bad, but I had this one flyer. I'm going to make one adjustment on the scope, and try and bring this, whoops, try and bring this more over to the center. It's shooting left just a little bit. It was shooting left during the last match as well. So I put it back to where it was originally, but it's still left. So I'm going to bring it back a little bit more and see if I can not get a flyer out of the next group and see if I can group that more in the middle. Alright, so this is after I made some adjustments on the scope. One little flyer here, and then these two here. This is basically right where I want to be. I don't think it warrants adjusting the scope anymore. This was more me than the gun or adjustment on the scope. These two are very good. So I'm going to mark these off, take 3 more shots with a 140, and then put up a new target and see what it does with the other ammo as far as accuracy. And if those other two can compare with this, then I may be making a grain change for Hornady 147, or maybe this will still be the one that I keep for long term. So these 3 up here were the Berger ammo. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. I've never shot it before. So it was quite a bit different than the Hornady. The Hornady 147 grain, I did 3 groups and 5 groups. This is how that looked. So it doesn't seem to like the 147 as much as the 140. And these 3 shots here were the custom loads, the hand loads that my dad and I did. These 2 shots were really good. This one's off. It was probably me more than the ammo, but it's still really hard trying to dial in hand loads compared to factory as far as getting it even more accurate. I know it can be done, but it's been trial and error with the Hornady so far with trying to narrow it down to a tighter group. So next I'm going to put up a competition target. This is the one that I shot during the group for the last match. It's absolutely shit. You can see how much I was shooting over to the left. But I'm going to reuse this target, and I'm going to do a 8-shot group with a Hornady 140 and see how that turns out. I'm only doing 8 shots because I only have 8 rounds of the 140 left. But it's better than doing 3 or 5. So here's the final 8 shots with a Hornady 140 grain. This was at 440 yards. You can see the shooting bench way up there. I'll do another shot from there down to here. But yeah, all in the black. And I had 1 outside the black, which is not too bad. So at 440, I'll definitely take that. This is the group that I had with the Winchester when the adjustment on the scope was off a little bit. But I have it more centered now where I want it. It's a lot more accurate, and it really, really likes the Hornady 140. From the last group on this target here, which I put this one over it, the Berger, however you pronounce it, ammo, was shooting high. I didn't want to adjust it to bring it down because that would make the Hornady low on the target. And I want this scope adjusted and the gun adjusted to shoot for the Hornady 140. It seemed to do okay with the 147 grain, but so far the 140 for this gun, it seems to like that powder load the most, and it seems to be the most accurate. If this was a competition shoot, I would definitely take that. I figured I'd do a little bit of bonus footage. I came back to the range today. This is the next day after the middle part of the video. I'm just going to shoot off the 147 grain Hornady match and the 140 grain Berger that I have. I don't think this is quite as accurate as the Hornady for this gun. So I'm just going to shoot it off at 100 yards on both. The target that you saw earlier, 440, I said I was happy with it, but I know this gun can shoot tighter groups than that at 440. I know I can shoot better groups than that at 440, so I'm just going to shoot at 100 today and see how it's grouping there, and then I'll revisit the 440 later on. It won't be for this video, but at some point I'll come back and shoot 440 again. Maybe it's mostly me. This is a very accurate gun. So maybe there's still some fine tweaking to do to get it to where I really want it, or where it was when I first took it out of the box. But for just for today's purposes, we're going to do 100 yards and see how it's grouping at that distance. So this is the Berger ammo. I was aiming right here. I was shooting just a little bit high. From earlier in the video, you could see at 400 yards it was shooting up here on the other target like this one. So this ammo just shoots a little bit higher in this gun than the Hornady does. But that's a pretty nice group overall. I'm going to cover these up and do 5 more shots with it and see what it's like after that. think that group's a little better. Let's go check it out. Well, we'll be using that same spot again because that's pretty well chewed out. I wish I'd aimed at one of these other spots because it's really hard to see how accurate that group really is because it's so chewed out so much because it landed right on top of where the other one was. But I'm going to aim at a different spot. I'll aim at probably this one down here or this one over here to get a better grouping. I have 6 rounds left of the Berger 140, so I'll do that with a group on one of these smaller diamonds and see how that group looks. But that's pretty damn nice. That's definitely a really nice group with that gun. For some reason that ammo shoots a little bit high, like I said before, but excellent group at 100 yards. So the Berger ammo is all done. I'm shooting the Hornady Match 147 right now. Have a different type of target up, so do 5 shots, then go down and check the target. Well, this goes to show that any accuracy issues at all, it's me, it's not the gun, because this thing is extremely accurate within 100 yards, and even beyond that, it's still very, very accurate. So with the 440 target I did earlier in the video, anything that wasn't grouped well was more of a me issue than the gun itself. Also, just to clarify, as far as competition shoot, this, I don't mean anything like professional. This is just a club that I belong to, and if this was an actual match, that would be a good target to shoot, providing that the next 2 rounds would have been in the black as well, because it's 3 shots. I mean, three separate rounds of 10 shots each for the match. So it's 2 rounds short. I didn't have any more Hornady 140 grain, but you could see what the gun was doing at that range. I have shot tighter groups than that, but it all depends on the wind and everything else, and it's picking up a little bit right now. It was really dead calm this morning. I got here when it was just legal shooting time at the range, 9 o'clock in the morning. So it was dead calm for most of the day. It's a little bit windy now, but I don't think it affected those shots any. It was a pretty good group, and I think I have this gun back to the point of where I want it as far as shooting it for these competition shoots and stuff like that. That was a pretty decent group at 440 yards, and at 100 yards it would have been shooting the middle of the target out, which I had done the last time I brought this up. The very beginning of the video was a separate day, like I mentioned before, and I was completely chewing out the target at 100 yards, but I got this more to shoot longer distances and not just 100. Just to give you a better idea of the distance, the camera will only zoom so far, but you can see the berm way down there. That's 440 yards at that berm. So it's a pretty good distance to be shooting from. That'll pretty much do it for this video. Just wanted to do something different, get some rounds back through the gun, try to get it back to where it was before I screwed it up by cleaning it before the last match. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how it's shooting now. So if you did enjoy the video, and for something different, if you want to see more gun type content, I can do some more stuff every once in a while. But if you did enjoy the video, leave it a like, and above all else, thanks for watching.